Oh, welcome back my gardening friends. Well, we're revamping the wild life pond. It's going to be completely removed, so I've left it till now, hoping that most of the creatures are all up and running, and when I empty the water it's going into my bath, and I shall check every nook and cranny as we go and make sure everything is nice and safe. It's been a good pond, but it's a little bit low. There's a water feature in there, and then I tried to line it with plastic, but a little pinhole in this plastic, it drained to that level. I wanted the water up here somewhere, and it's going to be in the way of my long root vegetables for the giant vegetable shows that I go to. So I've got those few things. I'm trying to recycle as much as I can all the stones. There's a lot of wood chips in here where the birds have been scratching about, but all the logs on the brain, all the stones and anything else I'm going to reuse, and I'll probably have to reuse some of this matting as well, help stop the weeds. So this is one of the jobs that I've got to do in April, and let's go and have a look at what else we need to do. It's going to be a very busy month, and while I'm still off for the next couple of weeks, a week, I need to get done as much as I can. I won't be letting the granddaughter visit the plot just while we get this sorted, because there are quite a few drop-off points and what have you, so I'll keep it nice and safe, and we'll be reusing all the little bits. And as you know, I've been collecting other bits, and I'll be taking some of these plants out. It's a shame while they're actually flowering, but I need to get this done so that I know where I stand with the rest. So we've got the raised collar beds, pallet collar beds there. They'll come out one more, then we'll have this framework sloped up to just to that one side of the tank. My whale pump has just got enough go in it to get it up to that height, which is about 12 foot, and then we can create something. We'll get these slabs up, and I've used the original slabs, so I'll put another one on just to give it an extra bit of support, and that then will be covered in wood chips at a later date. So this massive chunk of wood we recycle from another plot off a building has come in very useful. There's a few bees, solitary bees, having a little play in the bug hotel, and I must get this last slab sorted, and then we can get the wood chips down. And we've just kinked it in there a little bit, but other than that we've got a lovely line down there, and hopefully a decent height on it. No more fencing going on there, it's just to help keep the wood chips my side, and the gentleman's flowers and that and vegetables his side. Very shortly I'm going to be doing my first application of neem oil. It has to have the 100% pure in it, and this is the neem oil when it's been in the shed, and this is the neem oil when it's been out in the sunshine. So don't worry if you do buy some of this and it's a little bit solid. It's out in the sunshine or in a little bit of warm water. But I'm going to be treating the garlic, the leeks, the cabbages, and this is what happens when you put hair nets on top of these lampshades. You fry them. So I hastily took the hair nets off, thinking it would stop the pigeons, but unfortunately too much heat in there, so it does work. And we'll also be treating the newly planted onions in this bed. So we'll be looking at combating the allium leaf miner, the beet leaf miner, caterpillars and slugs if they appear on those cabbages or any of my lettuce. Every day we must keep an eye on all the vegetables that we've got indoors that will tolerate this. These are the F1 Benchmaster runner beans. They started going rotten and smelling, so I took them out of the chitting tray and I covered over the beans like Steve suggested, so the moisture gets all over. So great comment. And we've still got it a bit cold, so I'm leaving these in for now. But this is the square foot gardening. Telling lies again. Vertical gardening. That's square foot gardening, and this is the vertical gardening, and those buckets sit in those green straps. So I'll be showing you a video of how I've created this during the month of April. And again, I've been using the cardboard as a water retentive material. It has been working really well, especially on the potatoes. Still haven't watered these. This row here is better than that one, but we don't want to be watering new potatoes, new planted seed potatoes. We don't want to go rotten. So I always water my potatoes when they're actually showing, so we know that they're not going to rot off. But just to keep them damp, just so that we know that they're not bone dry. These are the parsnips, and this is the carrots. I will be doing a successional sowing of carrots, so we will need to get another lot sowed in 2 weeks after that, and I'll be moving down to the next bed, and I shall need to get the cocoa coir in the holes. And as you can probably see, the little covers are working well, and we've had none fall over as of yet. The radishes that we put in between these stations, I'm just showing now, so I've took the covers off there. Those they can be used on the carrots, but the lampshades help retain the moisture in the bottom there. The collar stops when I pour water down the sides, it stops the water hitting the lettuce so it doesn't dirty it. And when we do get heavy rain, we don't get any water splash on the lettuce leaves. So basically it's cut and eat. We don't wash. Not unless there's a great big piece of bird poo on it. This is my Jerusalem artichoke bed. It's in a sealed container. That's just a pot of some spares. And again, this has been useful for the water retention. And one thing I was going to say was we'll keep an eye on it for when they start to show, and they've started to show there, so I'm going to leave this uncovered now. That bit of mould won't hurt those, they'll feed off that. But it's in quite a deep plastic laundry basket type thing, factory laundry basket, and these pots have got holes in the bottom, but they do escape. With Jerusalem artichokes you have to be so careful that they don't escape. And this must be their 5th move. You should only plant them in the one place and leave them there. But with all the changes on my allotment, I didn't really think about it till now. And there's the new pond bleaching in the sun, making sure that all the nasties around it, and blanket weed etc. is completely killed off. So with the successional sowing, I do need to start sowing again once the dates come round for different things. As they grow, we'll sow on. And we'll listen to the robin for a bit. I've had a really nice 10 kilogram plus harvest from the rhubarb, and We need to harvest it regularly, taking the best stalks, and I'll be removing the very, very small stalks. And I've just seen our friend the cabbage white butterfly. They're about already. Goodbye. So yes, harvest the rhubarb regularly, and then I'll stop at the end of June, end of July times, so the crowns can re-establish themselves in the last few months before they die back. These are my 2 manure bins. Because of the travel restrictions, I'm not able to top them up, so I am just restricting how much manure I actually use. So this one's about a third full. This one has never had any in, but it's full of these polycarbonate sheets, and the 2 long ones and 2 shorter ones will go to making a roof on here, which I'd like to do in May. There's no rush for this, so that we don't get any extra water, so the material we get out of the runoff is as a decent concentrate, like this was. But we don't want it like this, because we had to start using a bigger drum because we were getting too much liquid because of all the wet weather we've had over the last 6 months or so. So that will be best practice. So these are the poppies that the wife found a little seed pod. She picked the seed pod up and we saved that. So I need to get that planted within the wildflower garden. I need to secure down this here to keep this all dry for any creatures. All the old stalks, sunflower heads and stalks, all got piled into there, and there's all little crevices that we find logs that have been holed out and rotten. So I need to get this weedish free, and some of the horrible nasty wildflowers that got horrible roots and they're spreading everywhere. And I'll be showing you how to get rid of the nettles the best we can, and also the docks. We get a lot of these because of the manure that we get from the horse manure from the horsey place. My demonstration liquid plant foods, they're swelling up and they've got some fizz. It's that tight I can't get the top off, but yeah, the gases are building up, so much so the bottoms are rounding off and they're all falling over. I feel like that sometimes. Got to show this again. It's absolutely beautiful. Great to see. One of the jobs I did manage to do was get all the, well, I'll say all, I wanted to leave one the same, but these are the asparagus seeds. I grew mine from seed. This one was found its way into the greenhouse. So basically what you get, let's have a little look. This is what you get when the seed first grows, and then you may see the little sprouts there and there. Obviously they're new, they're not going to come to much. I'll be able to see that one better, but that's hopefully next year or the year after will be my crop of asparagus. But I believe you do have to leave it a few years to get the crowns established, and then you'll get something that looks like this. This is a volunteer. I don't know if it's from seed or this is where the original plot holder had some asparagus, but we've got another one coming through there, and we do get quite a few spurs or whatever you call them from it. So we'll be enjoying those this year, and then when we decide to use one of the new beds on plot 3 as a permanent bed, this one will be dug out. I have decided that I'm going to take all my giant cabbages to my father's allotment. There's some more there, and this seems to be working out well now. This is the guttering system. It's not up and running yet. We found a fault in it because I'd used wood chips, So the wick system was pulling the water up out the guttering, which is now bone dry. So there's the wick system there, you might be able to see. There we go. Drawing it up, and it was going into the wood chips, and it drained, it used 100 litres within a couple of days. So hopefully now that this plastic's there, and this pond liner, that will solve that issue, and it'll go directly to where we want it. This grapevine in the greenhouse went mad last year, so if it does, I'll stick to leaving it outside, so that the tomatoes, peppers, mainly peppers in here, will have the best chance. And the ones that are outside are also doing well. If you ever plant a grapevine and you want it going inside a polytunnel or greenhouse, always plant it outside. You don't feed them, you don't water them. The root system does that for you. So that one's working well, so I'm going to keep this one outside, so it just needs a little bit of support now. This wire from one of the glass, it's either one that's been in the guttering, but I collect all the water from every structure. So this is my compost bin runoff, and when the lid's down, water runs into there, into that barrel, and this one's growing as well, and these are all ones that I've took cuttings myself. All I've done is cut the aluminium out, bent it over, and all the water travels into there, into the barrel. And then if my pond gets a little bit low, turn the tap on, and yes, I forgot to switch it off the other day, emptied it just to keep that pond topped up nicely, and water's quite clear. When I've got a spare minute or two, I'm going to get some of these weeds out. I'll leave the volunteer flowers, but there's quite a few weeds around here. The vine weevil attacked my strawberries, so I'm just going to let them grow on and see how they actually do. And one of the jobs I would like to get done in April, especially while we're getting April showers, is to get the polycarbonate sheets on there so that we can collect the water, which collects in the barrels down the bottom that aren't there at the moment because I had to move some water about. But yes, it's a shame to waste the water, especially because of all the work that I've done on this plot. I didn't fill the blue barrels up, and I'm down about 2,000 litres. And if I get time in April, I'm going to get this done. So this is putting these plastic sheets all the way along here. But as you know, we have got a hang on, let's have a think. Bindweed issue. Next door's plot, I just took it over, and they used to have previous plot or rhubarb there, so the bindweed just got out of control. This is where it was under the slabs. It's all been burnt off now, so I'll let that carry on being burnt off. But even we leave that little bit, even smaller than that, that will actually root. So I need to get out as much as I can, so I should be leaving most of it open to the elements. But to help me and my new plot holder next door, I'll get that plastic in, and then we can fight it from each side. And I've got more beetroot. They're the Bolt Hardy, but these are the Sabuto, the DT Brown seed, and they're all interplanted in between the brassicas. And I'm going to do the same with that bed. So I'll have more than enough beetroot to pickle and have as a side dish with some of our dinners. I have been posting quite a few videos. I hope you're finding something useful from one or two of them. The title will describe what we're talking about, so you choose the videos that you want to watch. So lots to do, lots to show, lots to share. If you like the content of my videos, then please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down, we don't mind. The more thumbs up we get, or the thumbs down, the better more people get to see what I do. And Then people can comment and help me be a better gardener. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.